the 2012 Foot Locker National Cross Country Championship. And all our favorites making sure they stay out of trouble, getting right to the front. So Carrie, everybody will be watching what Ed's doing. You have to feel like he's got the experience, that they know that he's the man. So we'll see if anybody wants to take that pace out on him.
Well, you know, last year they jumped out in front right away, and you'll have to see if that happens again.
Our boys going right to the front, the black of the Northeast there, taking the lead, moving up to that lead group there. As we said, if you're new to the course, it's flat for the first quarter mile. In fact, even a little bit downhill. And as we saw, Marissa Williams took that girls 400 out very quickly, 66 for that first quarter. So we left no doubt that we were going to go out fast there. So our boys into the dog loop. It's a half mile of relatively flat, a little bit downhill through the first quarter, a little bit uphill on the second. Make their way over to the mile mark where they go up the big hill, top of the hill, 200 meters to the downhill, and we repeat that for the second mile and a half loop. Our early leaders, we've got Mac Norris from Harrington Senior High School out well there. Noah Gady from Stillwater in that lead group, as we can see. We've got Ed Cheswick right there, making sure he's out of trouble. Sean McGorty covering that move right with him. Jake Linegang, we saw Jake in that gold get out very quickly right at the start. So our favorites, if you will, at least the folks from our regional champions, making sure they're least out of trouble, huh, Carrie?
You know, we have to just mention that there is something going on, obviously, with our camera. Our one gator is not working, and obviously you guys can see that they're trying to get positioned so we can see this race. So give our cameraman a little slack right now. They're going to be coming up, and we'll hopefully get the rest of the race for you and show you guys who our national champion will be.
Well, that certainly is the advantage of being here in person, because we can see them coming out of the eucalyptus trees, and we've got a huge group. Nobody has an advantage yet, so it looks like we are not going to have that flying first half mile or even that flying first mile, but it is a fair and competitive first half mile. Looks like Sean McGorty right there, very comfortably in the red there. We're at 2:19 at the first 800, 2:19. So that's a pretty good first 800 meters. So it's not too fast, not too slow, but everybody right in there. We see Linegang right in there also, right with that front group. Cheswick in there. All of our top runners there, really nobody out of it. So at 2:19, Carrie, everybody's in this group, aren't they?
They went right, that was what they ran last year, I believe, Tim. And, you know, they were going fast last year. They ran 14:52 to win that race.
14:52 was Cheswick's finish time, one of our fastest times. And they come around the pool area, and we can see Linegang right there with McCourty, our two regional champions right there. Cheswick right behind them. So the three regional champions running right together. Zach Perrin in the blue, the first of the West runners. He led the West Regional for pretty much the first 2 miles. He likes going out well. He's got good speed. He's out quickly too. But as we mentioned, everybody trying to stay right there, make sure they cover every move. But you just know somebody's going to make a big move here. They'll make that loop now, down into the valley, heading back to the hill, and we get our first mile time.
You know, in the different regional races, we had some blowouts. We had some first place guys finishing quite ahead of their second place. But in that Midwest region, again, where they're all packed together up front here, they had the closest race of all four regional races. So it is interesting to see that.
You know, there is a difference sometimes in those regionals. Some of those boys know that they've been here before, what it takes, and they really have their eyes set on the big prize. Andrew Gardner was our regional champion in the West last year, but this year he was just fifth in the region, and he was really cruising along. And the West region, of course, is 1 week later than the other regions, so they're just 7 days ago. So the West boys have learned a little bit more about taking some time off. But as we can see now, we've got a pack four, but there are literally everybody still in there. No gap of any kind as they start to make their way to that first mile. Our leader is Raymond Nicholas from Erie Mason High School. Sean McGorty right there in that second spot in the red, but Jake Linegang, our Midwest champion, Sam Wharton right in that group, and of course Ed Cheswick just sitting right in the middle of that pack, biding his time. Last year he made a big move on that first hill, so we'll see if that's part of his plan again. The boys in the blue from the West also moving up as a group, just like the girls. They do feel comfortable running together. I think they get that chance from those last couple days to move up. So they start to make their way up the big hill, 100 meters of very steep incline, Then it levels off, and we'll be able to see them up on the grass there. Those of you folks that are here, you can see them coming across the top of the hill.
Tim, we have 5 of our top 10 finishers from last year. That's pretty amazing to have all of those guys coming back.
Looks like we've got a bit of a move now. Looks like McCourty and Chesrick have used that hill to separate themselves just a bit there as they make their way. They'll make a U-turn, and then the last about 80 meters to the top of the hill, McCourty and Chesrick, both of them with great 800-meter and mile speed also, but they also have the strength to handle it. Both good hill runners. They have established themselves at the lead, and we have a little bit of a pack now forming. We've got 6 boys in that lead group. We've got Jacob Thompson in that group, Nicholas Raymond, Jake Linegain, Ed Chesrick, Sean McGorty, as they now will make that U-turn and begin to come on down and come back to that start line area. And there they are. We now have a shot of them coming down the very steep hill. McGorty, that's him on the left there in the bright red. Ed Chesrick, McGorty, a very good downhill runner. So we mentioned great speed here.
Well, Gordy might have a little advantage. His mother ran here, so she might know a little thing or two about this course.
Really no gap anywhere in there. Everybody's still very close there. We've got a good group running. We got McCourty in the lead and Chesrick right there in second. Jake Linegain, Sam Wharton, Nick Raymond, and Grant Nykaza, all from the Midwest, running very well in that group. We see Robert Domanic in that group, Jacob Thompson also. And they're making their way back towards us here, towards the 1.5 miles, the halfway point.
Wow, it's tight.
Sean McGorty of Chantilly High School, Virginia. He's our leader in the red there of the South. Chesrick there in the black of the Northeast. We see 3 of our regional champions running right together, and Sam Wharton with him. We've got our South Regional champion, McGorty, our Northeast Regional champion, Chesrick. We've got Linegain there. He is the blonde of the 2 Midwest boys, and then Sam Wharton, that's our top 4. The South and the Midwest both looking very strong as teams. The red of the South, the gold of the Midwest, the gold of the Midwest trying to capture the championship after they dominated the girls' race. What is it about that Midwest, Carrie?
I'm telling you, we're tough out there.
But it's sunny here. This is nice weather.
Hey, we always think, why do we live in the Midwest when we come out here? But then, you know, you see that we're tough. Why are you laughing, John?
I just thought that was funny.
All of these athletes are tough, that's for sure.
Well, Sean McCourty must like it because he's coming west. Our South Regional champion will be going to Stanford next year, so he's coming west to run his college career.
Yep. Well, Sean McGorty's been doing great all year. Won by 21 seconds at the regionals. He's been setting records left and right, breaking records of very famous runners. So it's kind of been fun to actually see him run in person here today.
What's so exciting is all the speed here. All these boys have great speed. So coming down to the finish here, it isn't going to be the case where we have just 1 or 2 boys that can run away from everyone. We've got some boys here that can really fly. And the pace has been good, but it hasn't been oppressive. So we should have some very good last mile and maybe even a great finish coming down the stretch here.
Carrie, let me ask you a question real quick about the race that Edward Cheswick is running right now. What do you think of it? He's right up there with that lead pack. Is that a good place for him to be?
You know, from what I gathered from him the other day when I was talking with him, you know, he seemed a little bit more reserved. It wasn't just about him and Footsum like it was last year. And I'm not surprised to see him sort of feeling it out. And I don't know if he's feeling good or not, but this guy has such speed. When we saw him last year on the second hill, make up that, I mean, he ran so fast up that hill. I've never seen legs go so fast up that hill that I'm not surprised that he's sitting and kicking if that is the case today.
We are coming up to our 2 mile split at 9:45. And McCourty right there as he has been followed for the last several hundred meters here. Right there, Ed Chesrick just stalking him in second. Very good battle here. Sam Warden and Jake Linegain right there in third and fourth. Jacob Thompson running in fifth from Holy Cross. Nick Raymond is in that group. Robert Domanic also in there, and Aaron Templeton. That's our top 8, and here they come. We've got a great battle of 4 there. McCourty in the red, Chesrick in the black, and then Linegain running very well along with his teammate Wharton. Wharton is the one with the headband of the 4 there.
Jake Linegang is in third right now, finished 4th here last year. You know he's got that in his mind. He wants to finish higher than that.
And our West Regional champion now, Ben Sorrell, moving up well and has now moved into 6th place. He has been moving for the last several hundred meters, and now it looks like he's going to move into 5th place. If he can make up that distance to get up there, we have all 4 of our regional champions. So 4 regional champions in the top 6. But right now it is McGordy and Chesritt shoulder to shoulder. So Chesritt last year it was Fitsum, Zena, Selassie, and Chesritt. This year it is McGordy taking on that challenge. Remember, Chesritt undefeated for the last 2 years in high school cross country. He has taken on all comers. 149 for 800 meters. That's how much speed he has closing.
To be able to have that range is so exciting for a young athlete.
Probably pretty exciting for some college coaches,
oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah. And shoe companies, I think.
We're just now making the turn down on the Valley Loop, and it is still, as it has been, McCourty just a half step ahead. Chesritt just marking him in 2nd, and Linegain and Warden in 3rd and 4th. All experienced runners at this level, certainly in this meet. As we mentioned earlier in the day, experience seems to be the factor on the boys' side, and these boys have it. They've been here before. They know what to expect over this last mile as we hit the hill the 2nd time.
This is where Ed really put the power on and really went up the hill hard last year, trying to put some distance on Footsum. It didn't quite work for him, but he did eventually break him.
He really did. He really pushed it up that hill the 2nd time. A big move that he made. So our boys have now made it across the road, are now heading up the hill for the 2nd time. We will be able to see them again. If you look there to the east there, you'll see them as they've made the hill, and it looks like this is the time, and this is the hill again. Chesrick making his move.
Yep, there he goes.
Opened up about a 5-meter lead. He has broken that group open. McCourty just 5 meters back. He is not letting him go. Ed Chesrick, St. Benedict's Prep, trying to repeat as the Foot Locker national champion. Sean McGordy, he'd like to be that national champion, and he has given chase.
Oh, they've closed it up a little bit.
There you go.
It's going to be a race.
Chesritt with just a meter or 2 over McCourty, and now McCourty moving up on his shoulder. Remember, McCourty runs that downhill well. When they get to the bottom of the downhill, 500 meters to the finish. Sean McCourty, Ed Chesrick, Jake Linegain trying to pull himself back into that race. There they are. We have a shot down the downhill, shoulder to shoulder. They make it to the downhill. Chesrick with about a meter lead, trying to open up a little bit. McCourty right there in 2nd. Chesrick a quick look behind. Linegain in 3rd. The Northeast Regional Champion, the South Regional Champion, and the Midwest Regional Champion, all together, 400 meters to go. Edward Chesrick of St. Benedict's Prep is our leader, trying to repeat as the national champion. Sean McGordy trying to stay close to use that kick, but Chesrick opening up a bit of a lead. Langang trying to move up on McCourty's shoulder. Edward Chesrick, measured race, a beautiful race, well run. Here he comes, passing by 3 miles at 14:30. He makes the turn. Edward Chesrick, St. Benedict's, he is really powering home. McCourty and Langang fighting for 2nd and 3rd. Edward Chesrick looks around, but there is no one there. McCourty and Langang are regional champions coming home, but the 2012 Foot Locker National Champion will be, for the second time, Edward Cheserek.
Benjamin Sorrell in fourth.
Sean McCourty, he will finish second. Jake Langang, he will finish third. A great last mile by the West Regional Champion, Ben Sorrell. Looks like Thompson there in fifth, excuse me. Jacob Thompson moving up for fifth. Cheserek unofficially breaks 15 for the second time, 14:58. Those of you folks along, of course, let's hear it for these guys. These boys, all of them, state champions, league champions, section champions, all have earned their spot to be one of the top 40 in the nation.
Wow, what an amazing day these guys are having.
Edward Cheserek becomes a repeat Foot Locker national champion. 14:52 last year, 14:58 this year. Sean McCourty, a great race for him. He pushed the pace, 15:03 in second. Jake Langang, very strong, coming on very well at the end to finish 15:05, and especially coming on strong. And Ben Sorrell, outstanding effort from him. So our regional winners, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cheserek, the Northeast Regional Champion. McCourty, the South. Langang, the Midwest. And Sorrell, the West Region Champion. Thompson, a great finish there at 15:13. He finishes in fifth.